The 1987 Constitution elevated the status of labor in Philippine society. Section 18 recognizes that labor is not a mere commodity in the market, but a primary force that sustains the economy and nation. It affirms the workers' indispensable role and imposes on the state a duty to promote their rights and promote their welfare. This embodies the broader constitutional vision of social justice, where economic development must be people centered and equitable. Section 18 emphasizes that labor is central to both society and the economy. Workers are not passive factors of production. They are active partners in nation building. This principle flows into Article 13, Section 3 to 4, which codify the Bill of Rights of Labor, guaranteeing the right to organize, collective bargaining, security of tenure, just and humane conditions of work, and the living wage. In essence, labor is not a cost to be minimized but a pillar of democracy and social stability. In JMM Promotions versus Court of Appeals, the Supreme Court clarified that the state's duty is not simply to create jobs. Employment opportunities are important, but dignity, fairness, and welfare must come first. Labor policies must always be human-centered, not just productivity-driven. The ruling underscored that the labor policy of the Constitution is rooted in social justice, which balances efficiency with equity, ensuring that development uplifts workers, not exploit them. The Constitution's protection of labor extends beyond Philippine shores. In PASEI versus Drilon case, the court declared that since many Filipinos are compelled to work abroad due to lack of opportunities at home, the state has the duty to protect them overseas. Now, overseas employment must be decent, just, and humane. This principle later gave rise to the Migrant Workers Act, RA 8042, amended by RA 10022, which institutionalized the protection for OFWs. Now, this shows that labor rights are portable. They follow the worker wherever they are. Labor protection also covers persons with disabilities, the PWDs. In the case of Bernardo versus NLRC, the court ruled that the Magna Carta for Disabled Persons, or Republic Act number 7277, is based not on charity, but on justice. Once qualified and employed, PWDs are entitled to equal treatment and benefits as able-bodied workers. This reflects the Constitution's vision of substantive equality in labor relations, ensuring that even the most vulnerable sectors are protected from discrimination. A unique feature of a Philippine labor law is the bias in favor of labor. In Jubilia versus HSY Marketing, the court reaffirmed the equipoise doctrine. When evidence is in balance, the case must be resolved in favor of the worker. This doctrine reflects the constitutional philosophy of social justice, recognizing that workers generally have less power and resources compared to employers. The law thus intentionally tilts the scales toward protecting the weaker party. The implications of Section 18 are far reaching. Work is a matter of dignity and justice, not charity or exploitation. The state must go beyond employment numbers to ensure fairness, equity, and welfare. OFWs must be protected abroad, both personally and economically. Persons with disabilities must enjoy equality in employment as a matter of right. In disputes, the law favors labor through the doctrine of liberality and the equipoise rule, as these principles embody the Constitution's social justice vision, ensuring that those who build the economy are themselves protected and uplifted. To conclude, Article 2, Section 18 embodies the Constitution's deep commitment to labor protection. Jurisprudence has consistently reinforced this, affirming that labor rights go beyond wages and jobs, encompassing dignity, equality, protection, and justice. Labor is the lifeblood of the economy, and the Constitution ensures that workers are treated not as mere instruments of production, but as partners in national development.